And me have been partners for a long time. He produced my video for me, which has done great. So if you want to find out.
No, I feel like now I'm hearing your voice.
Welcome to Backroads Truth, the podcast where faith meets melody, hosted by ICMA Artist of the Year, singer-songwriter, Justin Todd Herod.
Thank you. In Jesus' mighty name.
Praise God.
And even let rednecks like me get on TV, so I appreciate the Lord for that, man.
And on this episode, we've got a wonderful guest from one of my favorite states in the whole United States. Kansas. We've got a young lady from Collier, Kansas. Her name is Natalie Metcalf. She's a singer, songwriter, and she's a very interesting young lady, and she's very talented. But you know, songs and songwriting is all about stories. So today's story is going to be wrapped up and basically coming out from another talented artist. She wrote some great songs, and the one you're going to hear today has got an amazing story. But I'm going to save that for her to tell it to you when she picks up her guitar in a minute. But listen, we would love to hear your comments. They mean a lot to us, and it helps us know if you're liking the show. We'd love to hear from you. So without any further ado, all of our Backroads riders here, I want to introduce to you a wonderful young lady from Collier, Kansas, right? Miss Natalie Metcalf. Good to see you, honey.
Hi, how you doing?
Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, it's a blessing to have you here.
Well, I mean, I feel the same way. I'm super honored, and I know sometimes we, as artists, just get thrown together, but guess what? It usually tends to work out, you know?
Well, it worked out today because you were kind enough to come join us, and I told the producers, I said, man, when I first heard you speak, I thought it was like circa 1990s Demi Moore. She's got that raspy voice, and then I heard her sing a little bit, and I thought, oh my God, man, it's like this Demi Moore goes like, you know, Celine Dion or something.
Oh my gosh, don't throw her name in there. It's like,
have you seen the new documentary on her recently?
Oh my God.
And it broke my heart.
I can barely watch it.
I can't even, no, I couldn't either. And I don't want to get a sidetrack.
That we shouldn't.
Dang, what a super woman, man.
She is literally, it's crazy that you said her name. That is my favorite singer. That's who's inspired me. That was my very first CD.
Oh my gosh. Just the constitution and heart she has. But I know you have the same heart to do this the way you have. So I'm not going to take her time, guys. I'm just the host today. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to really enjoy this story as Natalie begins to unpack a song that I think you said it was called Grandpa's Boat, right?
Well, that's what my good friends call it. All the people who really know what they'll call it.
We're going to go with good friends. They know best, probably.
They do. And I mean, it's called Summer Lovin.
Okay.
But I always introduce it. I'm like, it's called Summer Lovin, but my good friends call it Grandpa's Boat.
Okay. Now, speaking of introducing, when by that, of course, we already know you've been playing a lot. You told me that you've been taking like singing lessons. You've been doing like getting trained as a vocalist. You know, I always tell people, like, we had an opera singer on here not long ago, you know, and this guy's an opera guy, and he was talking about all the training. I said, you know how country singers warm up? He said, no. I said, that's it right there, you know. That's how we do our warm-up, man. You know, you're probably more advanced than me. So I know you've been singing a long time. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your music career a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's been a long road. For instance, it has been a long. Sometimes it felt like the highway. Sometimes it felt like a back road. And you guys really got me out here on the back roads today. Definitely. Coming in. But I was trained, like classically trained as well, when I was very young.
Awesome.
And when I was 3 years old, my daycare lady, she called my mom and said, hey, during music time, Natalie always wants to sit next to me on the piano, and she's singing harmonies with me.
Awesome.
And my mom was like, okay, great, thanks for letting me know. And she was like, no, I don't think you understand. Like, that's not very common, you know, I think she really has a knack for music.
Wow.
And it just all fell into place after that. I had some really great teachers in the small town I was from. I mean, I don't know how I was so lucky, but I got some of the best teachers. And when I got to be about 8, 9, I started taking lessons early on before that, but my teacher and I just kind of clicked, and she was with me all the way until like 11th grade. And at one point, she said to me, she goes, listen, I love giving you lessons. I love spending time with you, but I think I've taught you all I can teach you. And I thought that was the coolest thing anybody could have ever told me.
That's a great thing to impart to a young, budding artist.
Just saying, like, I want to sing with you every Wednesday if you want to keep coming in, but like, I think we should try and get you to a college or get you somewhere else and find you some more education. And so just kept growing from there. You know, I went to college for music too. And
where was that at?
I went to college in California at Musicians Institute.
What a transition, Collier, Kansas to Southern California, huh?
Exactly.
That's a transition, right?
I mean, let's just say people always said, they ask me, they say, hey, was it a culture shock moving from Kansas to California? I said, not really, because when you're 18, you're ready. I was so ready for anything.
Right.
And I went to a international school, so I get to meet people from all over the world.
Oh, man.
It was so neat. It was so wonderful. I was so ready for that. But when I left LA and I moved to Texas, I mean, I was ready to get back to like somewhere where my roots are. And I feel like Texas and Kansas are very similar.
Very much.
But it was a culture shock doing that.
I'm sure.
You know, where I spent my 20s.
Yeah, the first summer, man, will kill you, you know.
And I moved back like right in July. And I was like, what did I do?
Right.
It's so hot. And I moved back to like a town outside of Austin. Okay. So, because I just thought, I've been in the city for so long. I want to like get back. I want to do some writing. I want to get back to my roots.
Right.
But when you move to a small town, things close at 10 or 6 p.m. And that was like shocking. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes, that's true.
I've got to really change my schedule. And I feel like that was more shocking than moving to LA. But now I've been here for quite some time and it feels like home. It feels like a home. I don't really always know how to put it, you know, like Kansas will always be home, but this is the next to best thing I can get. It feels like I've always meant to be here.
Let me give you a compliment of the many you probably deserve. The moment I met you, you seemed like a genuine, real Texan to me. You've got that presence and you've got that warmth, and I've been a Texan all my life. I love this state, and there's certain people you can tell right off the bat. And I love Kansas too. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I just told her I stayed out in Hayes the other night. I stayed a night out there moving up to Colorado. But you know, Natalie, here's one thing. I know I'm surrounded like you are many times by great singers. I've been around some of the best. I've been around some great guitar players, but there's only a small margin or handful of good songwriters. How'd you really get into songwriting?
Well, like I said, I always knew and thought just deep down I wanted to be a singer. And after my voice kind of took a turn, how I came to have this voice, how I came to have this voice, training and certain things happened, and I don't necessarily need to get into that, but this arrival to this kind of voice, it took me a long time to love it. You know, It wasn't always like this, and my range, it wasn't always here. But through that, I really felt like writing helped me.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't ever know. Honestly, when I wrote my first, like, I would say, in my eyes, like, good song, you know. I play a few different kinds of instruments, and I would write a few songs when I was growing up throughout high school, but I was more interested in, like, singing competitively. And then when I got into college, it was all about, you know, supporting all the musicians together, but there's still competition. I want to be the front man. Right. How do I get to do that? I was so concentrated on my voice that finally when I met some good friends who were like, come to this writing group, bring a song. I brought it. I thought, hey, I like this. Yeah. This felt different. This made my heart feel different.
It does.
Yeah, and I mean, singing always did that too, and I think it does it more maybe than writing, but man, when I can put the two together, it was life-changing, and I thought, I could write a record. I could do this.
It's life-changing too in the fact that not only does it change your life, but the songs you write will change the lives of people. I mean, this is, I look over at these guitars and I say humbly, man, I was the ICMA Musician of the Year like 3 years in a row, and they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, there's tons of guys, there's 12-year-old kids on Instagram that blow me away.
Not.
But I always tell people this, to play an instrument's great, to be a good singer's great, but I think, and you may not think this, but I believe this about you, but I just want to know, true artistry is in somebody who can create things, in my opinion. True artistry is in creating something that's not only from the creative part of your soul, but it's from experience and it's vulnerability. It's being able to say something that's going to impact somebody's soul and then eventually their spirit, as we'll talk about, guys, later on as we get the program going. But I noticed that about you, that when I heard you warming up, that, you know, great singer, you play good, but I always ask people, I mean, you know, like with me, I'm not saying I respect great singers, and I can listen to great guitar players all day and just get wowed. But when somebody gives me something from their heart that's really coming forth from, emotion and creativity, that to me is true artistry. And I understand
I
that.
agree with you.
Well, I hope that you do, because I think that I love to be around good songwriters, and I know today we're around one because I've heard a lot about you. So with that being said, you was telling me about this song, and of course the title is not the title that we call it, but her friends call it Grandpa's
We can call
Boat.
it that.
But Summer Lovin', right?
Summer Lovin', yeah. I mean, there are so many through the songwriting journey too. When you start, I think this song is special to me because it's one that came out very happy and simple.
Okay.
And the more I songwrite, the more I spend time on it, or it just comes naturally. When you first start out, tell me if I'm wrong, but when I first started songwriting, the easiest songs to write were the ones where, I was maybe heartbroken or sad over something, or angry about something, because those emotions are so easy.
They're there.
Right? They're just right there on the top
They
there, of your heart. They're just right
And
there.
you're kind of getting over stuff by venting this stuff out. It's healing process.
Absolutely. And like you said, being vulnerable in a sense of telling somebody your truth from those emotion standpoint, that had always been very easy to me.
Yep.
I speak my mind and whatever, but the older I got, the harder songs to write were the ones
I get it.
where you're happy. Where you're just like, everything's going great. And you always wonder, like, gosh, how many times do these people go through heartbreaks? It's like, well, they probably go through them a lot. Because artists always, sometimes we don't know how to be happy,
We're complicated people.
We are complicated. And
Ask my wife, she'll tell you.
And so I finally started saying, like, I got a lot of nice things to be, happy about and be grateful for,
Exactly.
And
It's good.
the good Lord has given me a lot of,
There you go.
amazing things. How can I put those kind of things into songs?
Right on.
So Grandpa's Boat, it was born out of me being frustrated at my man. And I'm married. Now we've been married.
You get frustrated at your husband from time to time?
from time to time.
Hey, figure that. Imagine that. Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
But this song was before we were married. Okay. And it was a couple years ago. We've been married for a few months now. And a couple years ago, it was so blazing hot in Texas. And he's a Texas guy like you, tried and true raised Texan.
Yep.
And the Texas guys, you guys want big Texas things, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. You guys want boats and guns and fishing poles that you didn't buy at Walmart.
Right,
like
okay.
expensive ones that are gonna catch you that gajillion pound bass.
All right, cut. We're done.
And
You're right,
so
though.
this summer,
You're right.
we're coming into this summertime, and he, says, baby, I think, we should get a boat. And we had been dating for about 4 years at this time. And like I said, to many women, this did not come out of an ultimatum or anything like that. It just flew off my tongue where he was like, let's buy a boat. And I said, well, baby, how about we can get a boat when I get a ring? And that, like, I was just being sarcastic to him. I didn't mean anything by it, but like it shut the boat talk down real quick.
Wow.
Right? Like the boat was like, okay, like, yeah, I see where she's coming from.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But a few more months went by, and then like he would send me a picture of a boat for sale, like on Facebook. Like,
Okay.
hey, look at this one on sale.
And you seen the wedding ring picture, right?
Yeah, and I'm not even kidding you. So pretty soon I'm following
it.
Facebook
Yeah,
boat
there you go.
pages. I don't even know how I got. You're like I'm in all these groups,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I'm getting bombarded. I'm gonna start sending him pictures of rings, right? So like, well, baby, look at this one. It's on sale, And then it shut down again a little
There you
bit.
go.
So one day, I'm looking out the window, and here he comes down the driveway with a boat. And I said, oh, Lord. No, he did not. No, he didn't. He done lost his mind. This guy has lost his mind. I'm going to pack my bags. I'm getting the heck out of here.
Oh, gosh.
He knows. And I wasn't looking for a ring at the time. Like I had said earlier, I just was looking for, a woman's always looking for some reassurance.
Yeah.
Like, hey, baby, I'm in this with you.
Gotcha.
I know it's been a while, and from my point of view, I'm like, I'm getting old, I'm in this. Let's just make sure we're in this together, but in a funny, like, lighthearted way. And so he comes running inside. I mean, he is the sweetest thing in the whole world, but he comes running inside. He's like, baby, 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 baby. I mean, he knew I was gonna be mad.
Gotcha.
And he's like, I did not buy this boat.
Okay.
I got this boat for free. It's my grandpa's boat.
Wow.
He gave it to me for free. And I was like, well, I didn't tell him he couldn't get a free boat. Like Like, I didn't say that. I didn't say we couldn't have a boat at all, especially if it's free.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, Lord, please, please give me some patience with this man, you know? And so the weeks go by, he's out there cleaning this boat. He's shining it. I was like, every chance I could, like, get out there. Like, I don't know what you got to do with this boat, but just get out of the house, you know? And I'm watching him through the window one day, and he's vacuuming the seats off. He's fixing stuff. He's sweating to death. And I just get inspired by this song, you know, to write this song.
Wow.
It's called Grandpa's Boat, but it's more about, like, oh, I love this guy so much. Like, honestly, he could have brought anything home on the trailer that day. I'm still going to love it. And he makes everything fun. And even though this was very frustrating, the boat did turn out to be a good thing. We had a lot of fun on it that summer.
Right.
You know, we had a lot of good memories on it.
Yep.
And out of that came just like this very loving, fun, easygoing, simple song. Just flew off the tongue. I wrote it in maybe 30 minutes tops. He comes running in. He gets excited when I'm writing new songs. And I love that about him. That's very sweet of him.
That is good.
I'm writing in my notebook, and he's like, oh, are you writing a new song?
Wow.
Slammed it closed. I said, hell no, I'm not writing a new song. I did not want him to know I was writing him a song about this boat. You know, I was like, he could not know that this boat inspired a song.
Man.
But a few weeks go by, and I let him hear it. I sing it
Did
to
you?
him. And
His reaction was?
I mean, yeah. Now, I mean, he's like, when can we get it recorded? You know, I say that too. Like, when can I record it? So, you know, we've had a lot of fun, and now it's become a theme. Like, my friends will say, I want to hear Grandpa's Boat.
So this is kind of a signature thing for you, I bet, you know, with people that know you and know your story. Yeah. And you know what, Natalie, you just did a while ago, you kind of posed the question, or the conundrum, I guess, of how do these great writers write something that's not, you know, originating from a heartbreak or a thing, but you just did it. You wrote a song based on a natural emotion, the most universal emotion in the world, love. And she wrote it for someone she loves, and she wrote it with positive things coming forth from her life. And really what I want to do after she plays this is just get you guys to listen to the story. And listen, I think anything, if you look deep enough, you can find some type of meaning that's applicable to your life. And I know just what I've heard from you already, that this is going to bless a lot of our couples. It's going to bless a lot of our young married couples. It's going to bless some people that have probably been married for a long time. Maybe there's a lady out there right now saying, man, he just brought home another shotgun.
Exactly.
I mean, or whatever.
Exactly.
So
like he wants the expensive Benelli, you know, and I'm like, can we lower it down to Remington, you know?
I'd be happy with that, man. I'll take that, you know.
But I mean, every single step of the way, there are those little things.
Well, what I'd like for you to do right now is maybe soothe some of that, you know, some of those feelings over. Maybe there's a lady out there that just needs to be a part of your story today, to be a part of your sentiment. And there's no greater way to do it, Natalie, than playing a song that's from your heart. So I want to get you to do it for us right now, if you don't mind.
I'm excited. All right, so this is Summer Lovin'.
Okay. AKA?
Grandpa's Boat.
Right.
Yes. Grandpa's boat still floats. We take her out until the sun gets real low. Catch some fish, maybe don't. I call you in a real good buzz. My lips on your skin. This Texas heat has got me falling again. We stay up real late. Watch the sunset on your old tailgate. Silver whiskey straight. It's got me looking at you in that way. Oh, summer loving on you. Summer's got you loving on me too. Well, the neighbor's pool, it's finally full. We'll hit the store and then we'll be back soon. Roll that cooler over here. I'm charging kisses every time you need a beer. My lips on your skin. This Texas heat has got me falling again. We stay up real late. Watch the sunset on your old tailgate. Silver whiskey, straight. It's got me looking at you in that way. Oh, summer loving on you. Summer's got you loving on me too. Well, it's a Bud Light midnight. Gonna get a little summertime high. We stay up real late. Watch the sunset on your old tailgate. Silver whiskey, straight. It's got me looking at you in that way. Oh, summer loving on you. Summer's got you loving on me too. My lips on your skin. This Texas heat has got me falling again. Ooh.
That vibrato, man, that's impressive, man.
Well, thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you.
The melody on that is it's happy.
I mean,
Happy song.
it came, you know what I'm saying? You know those times in relationships where something can be born out of frustration, but I'm sure your wife will say the same thing. You know, I still want
My wife would
him.
kill for me to write a happy song like that. I write like dark stuff, you know. But no, she would love that.
I think that's
Yeah.
why I can say that I love my man so much. You know, I mean,
That's great.
out of those
That's
times when I lay down at night, I still think like, I'll close my eyes and think about that song. And that day of me looking through the window, both times, him driving the boat in,
Yeah.
and the second time where I'm watching him like work hard
Yeah.
to clean it up.
Well,
You know, just it was happiness.
Yeah.
You know, that was like
it comes through.
Yeah.
It comes through
Yeah.
in the way you sing it. It comes through in the playability of your story. And you know, guys, here on Backroads Truth, listen, this is a program, man, that's designed just to have real people coming out of real situations in real life. And what I love about, you know, what we just heard is that this is a woman that said, you know, I was kind of at a place in my life where I just wanted to get mad. I wanted to throw a fit. I wanted to, you know, give an ultimatum, even though she wasn't doing that. But what it took was realizing that the greatest thing she had, other than, and now she does have the ring.
I do have the ring.
She has the ring. It didn't take all that, you know. Hey, she played her cards right. This guy's a lucky guy, by the way, and she's a lucky girl to have what they have. But what I'm saying is that even back then, when all the pieces of the puzzle weren't necessarily in line, everything wasn't there, she still had one thing that was the common bond. You know, there's a verse that I love to bring up, Ecclesiastes 4:12. It says, "A three-cord strand is not easily broken." You know, marriage is important to God. Marriage is important to the Lord. And the reason we know this is because He created, He designed it for a man and a woman to be together and enjoy not only just that kind of happiness that you kind of heard in that song. And I know it's probably not like what you hear from me a lot of times. I do a lot of stuff that's kind of more, but I like the nuance of being different and hearing different things, because listen, at the end of the day, what we want is for people, man, to have a blessed and a happy life. And listen, you can have that in your marriage. You can experience that in your marriage by being willing to forgive, by being resilient, and by what I loved about your story, Natalie, is that you took a moment, you took a breath, and you looked out that window and you said, that's my man.
That's my man.
That's my person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person that I love. That's the person God gave me. That's the person that I cherish, and nothing in this heat of the moment is going to change that. Instead, you flipped that around and you took something that's so base, man. I love this person, and you let love be the thing that won through that had victory through that. And I see that as being such a wonderful life lesson today for all of you watching. And I'm just so glad that we get to have guests like this that will come in and bring a little zip, bring a little pep, bring a nice melody with a great story, and be real enough to say, you know what? I was that chick that was kind of throwing a fit, and I was that chick that was, you know, I'm not sure what the future holds. I mean, this guy, man, I've given all this time to him, and he's not telling me nothing, but I'm going to be willing to say, hey, I believe in love.
Absolutely.
I believe in love.
Absolutely.
And-
And I mean, if you're an independent woman or chick, like you say, you know, as it is, you know, like I told you, you know. I mean, I knew. I needed him to know that I knew too. You know, that we are going forward this, and I'm going to make the best of it. You know, whatever comes out of it, we're gonna do what we can with it. We might as well also have some fun on this boat.
Well,
you
it
know?
sounds like you did. And it sounds like
did.
that bled over in not only a great song, but bled over into something that you and your husband years later can look back on and say, you know, no fight, no disagreement, no anything in this world is worth, man, not picking up on those real simple, those beautiful, simple things, you know, that come when you don't have anything. You know, some of the best moments I think I've ever had with my spouse is when we just didn't have a lot. We just had the basics, but we had each other, you know.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I see you saying there, you know.
Absolutely. I mean,
Well, amen.
sometimes it may not run, but we can still have a drink on it in the front yard.
Well,
you know?
and you know what, man? These philosophies, honestly, they have a lot of amazing parallels, and here's one of them. Listen, you may have a couple of lawn chairs and your front porch to sit on, but I would say today what I hope that you saw coming through is sit out there with the one that you love, be true to them, be committed to them, and realize if you have that special person that God has given you, cherish that moment. Don't let anger, bitterness, unforgiveness, strife, these things step in the way to where you can't really understand that one of the greatest gifts outside of Jesus Christ is having someone in your life that you can share this wonderful gift of love with. Listen, if you don't know anything about love today, listen, you may say, well, I don't have a wife that's like that's bubbly and kind and cool. Or I don't have a husband that buys a boat and sweats in the Texas sun. Listen, you have somebody that loves you, though, and his name is God. And God loves you so much that he made a way that you can not only experience love from a spouse or a family, but you can experience love from the greatest source of love that ever came to humankind. And that is from God sending his own son into this world to give you peace and to give you hope.
Amen.
And hopefully bring into your life, you know, someone you can share that with. But listen, what good would it be to have all of that stuff and not have the real love that we all need to experience? And that's the love that God offers to us through his son and the wonderful story of the gospel. So I'm going to tell you today, I think what we've kind of learned from this is some good life lessons about marriage. I think we've learned some good life lessons about how women can be a little resilient and flexible and turn around and make an incredible song out of it. And you got a great boat to go along with the story. And you got the ring.
I got the ring. I know.
And what
You
else is
know,
going on in your couple's life right now? Do you mind maybe?
I don't mind saying I do not mind.
Got something else coming.
We do have something else coming. We've got, you know, a new song in the works. No,
That'll be a new one.
we have a baby on the way. You know, and that's another thing. My man, he's spontaneous. If you can't tell, I mean, he's spontaneous enough to bring a boat home, you know, without discussing it. But he just said, you know, darling, after we get married, let's just leave it up to the Lord. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on the track of being like, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to take a long time. Sometimes these days, that's all you hear about. You know, it takes a long time. And there's so many women out there who it's you know, struggling to have kids, but. Yep. And I feel for them, but I also know that I just take my day one step at a time, whatever the Lord gives me. And guess what? Shortly after we were married, the doctor said about a month, we got pregnant.
Wow.
And our baby's due in February. And dear Lord, help us. It's going to be stubborn and independent and probably wanting to take that boat out more than I have time to, you know. But
So all you husbands out there and wives that need to go buy a boat, man, it's going to fix all your problems. No, let me tell you what will solve most of your problems, if not all of them. Just have faith in God today. Listen, know that God loves you. Know that he cares for you. And we here at Backroads Truth, we care for you. And I guarantee you, great guests like Natalie today let you know that there is smiles and laughter and there's great things around every corner if you'll just look for it. And I hope the most important thing you seek today is the ultimate love and peace that you can get through that wonderful message of truth that comes through the Bible. That's what we're here for, going down this little old gravel road called Backroads Truth. I'm glad I had a good shotgun. Well, you guys actually drove it today. You were in the driver's seat, honey, getting it. She was driving us down a beautiful time of truth, and I'm glad you guys joined us. Will you tell everybody goodbye right quick?
hey, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my song. What I can tell you is just love the people that are in
There
your
you
life.
go. I like that.
With all your heart.
I like that.
You know, God bless you.
I love that.
Thank you for listening. Thank you, Justin, for
you.
having me on the show today.
If you have anybody in your life that you feel like this might impact or influence, please share it with them. Appreciate you. See you next time down at Backroads. Thank y'all.
just chat, visit, chat.
Great, good stuff, man. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry,
good.
I'm like.
No, you're a good talker. No.